The latest shooting at East High School is exposing that there are students and staff who fear for their lives in Denver's schools. More than 800 students who could be a danger to themselves or others have gone through a threat assessment at school this year. And in some cases, students suspected of violence clear up to attempted murder charges are put back into regular classrooms by district leaders, put back there against the advice of police and school administrators. Our Chris Vanderveen has this 9 News Originals report.
You're nervous, you're anxious, you just want to see your kids' face.
And our children shouldn't have to go to school and worry about their safety.
I received a text message from my daughter that East was on lockdown.
Not long after the texts.
Supposedly there's shots fired on the first floor.
And not long after the rush.
I went and grabbed Carolyn and I said, we need to go now. Like, this isn't a joke anymore.
Carolyn and Frank Anello learned their daughter's high school had a policy.
Is this particular student actually had a safety plan that was in place?
Policy they knew nothing about.
They were to be searched at the beginning of the school day every day.
Parents aren't being notified that kids are being patted down in their schools? Yeah, here's a major problem.
And yet that policy...
Are you mad?
Yeah, frustrated.
...is one Kurt Dennis has come to know all too well.
When I heard of what happened at East and I recognized the similarities to the situation that we're working with here at our school, it really hit a nerve.
Why? Because for the last few weeks, the principal at Denver's McAuliffe International School, the city's largest middle school, has helped implement that same pat-down policy for one of its students.
I think it's important that people know, and I think it's important that parents know, and that I think it's important for school leaders to speak out and say this isn't okay and it needs to stop.
Earlier this year, he received notice that prosecutors had charged a student at his school with, among other things, attempted first-degree murder and illegal discharge of a firearm. Denver police told him, in their professional opinion, the student should not return to a traditional setting.
The detective stated very clearly that under no circumstance did she believe that the student should be returning to an in-person learning setting in Denver Public Schools.
And yet?
And yet we were directed to have the student return to school in person.
He did ask for the student to access courses online.
Our request that the student be enrolled in an online school was denied.
Why? Do you know?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
He then asked for an expulsion, to which the district said no.
The school district told you because this attempted murder took place off school grounds, it doesn't impact his life on school grounds.
Correct.
And so for weeks, he and his team have done something he admits they're not trained to do: pat down a student day after day after day, hoping not to find a weapon. In a recording, a district safety administrator told him he's hardly the only one to feel frustrated.
Unfortunately, we have other students charged with attempted murder and that have come back to their school or tried to. Yes, that is a possibility.
I know that this is happening beyond just McAuliffe International School, and that it's happening in other schools in Denver.
And so he spoke to us today, putting his professional life at risk.
You're aware of that?
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah, it's important.
Yep.
Carolyn and Frank Anello say they support him. Why? Because their other daughter attends McAuliffe, and they're now aware of that school's policy as well.
That's not okay with me. Yeah. And I'm sure it's not okay with many other parents as well.
This all leads to a series of questions, most notably if it can happen at McAuliffe, where else is it happening? We know of some, we'd like to know more. And we sent a series of questions to the district. Unfortunately, due to the shooting at East on Wednesday, the district is closed today, and we have yet to receive a response. We will let you know when that changes. Kyle?
The people inside DPS know what's going on. They know how this functions, and now it seems like the dam is breaking, with some folks saying parents and the public need to know what we understand.
That's the main reason for coming forward, is that there's this idea that if principals are allowed to know and school district administrators are allowed to know, then why in the heck aren't parents allowed to know what's going inside their school? We suspect, as you said, this could lead to a dam breaking. We know of other schools. We'd like to hear from more, but we suspect this is happening at other schools. And kudos for this principal for coming forward today.
Absolutely, and I think everybody's been wondering, after the shooting at East, where's the bar, where's the line at which a student is deemed too dangerous to be in a mainstream classroom? And now we know that an attempted murder charge with a weapon does not exceed that line. So we want to hear from folks. They can email next@9news.com. If you prefer an encrypted channel to reach me, Chris, the rest of the team, you can text us via Signal at 303-871-1841. We're ready to learn more about what's happening because, again, we want to be able to inform policy with public knowledge.
You bet, absolutely. We need to know more about what's going on inside the schools. Parents deserve to know.
Chris, thank you.
You bet.